The NBA set to resume on July 30th in Orlando, Florida. Now, while there are plans to keep the players confined to a campus, the state of Florida continues to see a significant surge in coronavirus cases, which is relevant since some of the Disney employees working on the campus will be going back and forth to their homes, missing with the public each night. Now, the NBA does have protocols set up for that. Workers who aren't staying on the campus are not supposed to ever be in the same room at the same time as any player. And they'll be wearing masks and gloves, but still, it is raising eyebrows in some front offices. Here is what one anonymous GM told The Athletic in a story released yesterday. Quote, "If the cases keep spiking in Florida, things are going to happen. I'm really, really concerned for the league big picture in many, many ways," unquote. All right, Richard, if you were headed down there, would you be concerned with what's happening in Florida?
Well, yeah, I think the entire country should be concerned, not just within Florida, but what's going on, across, all 50 states. But I still stand by this. I feel like in Florida, that's still probably the safest place to be. If you're talking about food delivery, you're talking about a quarantine, you're talking about hundreds of, probably thousands of tests that they will have access to. I still feel like being in that bubble, being quarantined is safer probably than any other place other than being in your home. If you're going to be going to a gym, going to a grocery store, going about to restaurants and all that stuff, you are more at risk than if you are in the bubble. So in that sense, I don't think that the risk goes up, but it is still something that the entire country should be concerned about.
And listen, RJ, I only disagree with you on one point. The point is that they're going to be more safe in the bubble than they are in their own homes. Here it is, we're talking about the bubble, $1 billion bubble at that. The only concern that I would have is leaving my family behind to have to deal with this on their own while I'm getting pampered and being protected and being safe in $1 billion bubble. Seriously, Rachel. Now, the only thing is that the players got to make sure that they do their part by by abiding by the rules, and making sure they follow the guidelines. But I don't know. No way. I'm with Richard on this one. No way am I concerned going down to $1 billion bubble by $1 billion business that got, probably have crossed all their T's and dotted all their I's. So it wouldn't be a concern for me. I'll just tell me when the flight is taking off, and I'm ready.
Brooke, that's a good point about some guys, not everyone, but some guys being safer on the Orlando campus than in their own homes, because some guys have kids going back and forth to other kids' houses and stuff like that. You won't have that in the bubble on the campus. We'll have to see. I do like your pampering point. I will say in the NBA manual, they said they were going to have both manicurists and pedicurists, and I really think that could be combined into one job. That could make it a little bit safer. I'm just saying I have suggestions. There we go.
Okay.
As a return to play nears, all eyes, guys, will also be on Zion Williamson. In an article from our Tim Bontemps and Andrew Lopez, David Griffin raved about Zion's health. One Pelicans team source also told the pair that Zion is, quote, gonna shock people. And there were numerous quotes about what a great television draw he will be when play resumes. Perk, those are some pretty high expectations for one of the youngest players in the league. What kind of pressure will there be on Zion next month?
Well, it's no pressure. And by the way, Zion handles pressure better than anyone since LeBron James. When you talk about even the sample size that we got of him this year in the 19 games that he played, he's exceeded expectations. He is box office, must-see TV, and every time he delivers, and he delivers in great fashion. So he's built for the pressure. He's been that way since high school when, in AAU tournaments, when the line has been wrapped around the corner, even going at Duke and exceeded expectations, in my opinion, as far as the coverage on the college kid that we'd never seen before. We were covering these games more than some of the NBA teams, so it's no pressure on Zion, and if it is pressure, he's built for it.
No, I agree with Perk, but what more pressure can the number one pick have, right? So, like, when I look at and again, if they're talking about pressure, an unnamed source from the why are unnamed sources giving us? You got Griffin, who is the head guy. Griff's the head guy, and he's saying, look, he's going to do a great job. And then you have an unnamed source, which could be a ball boy. It could be a training staff. It could be
besmirch ESPN.com sourcing.
I'm not besmirching
There will be
anyone.
no besmirching on
saying,
this show, Richard Jefferson.
I am not besmirching, but he says someone involved in the New Orleans Pelicans organization. That could be one of like 200 people. And so it's like, I don't view that, and I don't think there's any more added pressure. When you're the number one pick, and we knew he was going to be the number one pick, and he's had this much attention, like someone coming out saying he's going to shock the world, he's not, the number one pick doesn't shock the world in a 20-game, in a 2-month span. That comes over 5, 10, 12 years of dominating the league. That's when you get to shock the world.
I think.
And Rachel, can we stop with the unnamed sources? Like the unnamed sources, just say
even
your
compliments,
name.
even compliments. I don't want unnamed sources giving me negative information. I don't want unnamed sources giving me positive information. If you can't put your name behind your statement, then I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you. That's just the truth. And we're not talking about whistleblowers.
After the show, I'm going to put you in contact with some of our ESPN editors, and you guys can all discuss and fight out the journalism. I will say, on the Zion front, I thought it was really interesting. I sat down with Zion at the All-Star game and asked him sort of where he was feeling it the most, that pressure, that outside expectation. And he said it was just strange. He's 19. And he said grown men were like following him around a restaurant trying to get his autograph or picture, even after he had asked to be sort of left alone to eat with his family. So in some ways, I kind of think there will be less pressure on Zion in the bubble. He doesn't have to watch SportsCenter or TV if he doesn't want to. He doesn't have to log on to Instagram if he doesn't want to. And no one's following him around to a restaurant. So I do think it's kind of going to be up to him how much he sort of gets in and get those expectations in his head. We will have to see. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.